Hey friends, Sleepy here and welcome to a collection video. Today we're going to take a look at my handheld console collection. So I'm going to share with you guys all the different handheld consoles that I own. This is going to be already about 98% of them because there may be one or two or a couple that are missing that I might have in storage. But this is everything that I have with me here at the house in the game room, which is pretty much a bulk of the collection. Like I said, I might be missing one or two just because there's a couple things I think I'm missing, but overall this will give you guys a good idea of the different handhelds that I own, as I am a big fan of handhelds and I've loved handheld gaming ever since I received my first Game Boy as a kid, and I actually still have it, and you'll see that in this video. Now I'm filming this video as to fulfill actually a request from one of my subscribers, Nick T. Wolf. He's been following my channel for a very long time, and I remember a few years ago he asked if I would ever film a collection video highlighting the different handheld consoles that I have in my collection, because he knows that I have more than just a few, and he wanted to see them if I ever got a chance to film it, and finally got around to filming that collection video. And so, Nick, I wanted to share this video with you and with others to show you guys the different handheld consoles that I own. I got them all laid out down here and go over and talk about the different ones that we have. Give you guys a quick little overview like I always do. As you can see, got Nintendo, got Sony, I even got Sega stuff. And so of course we'll start off with the very first handheld that I had. Was the original Game Boy, which is actually this one here. Still in really good condition, it works. No issues with the screen at all, so very happy. Loved the Game Boy. It was so innovative for its time. Getting this in the early 90s was just amazing. It just blew away my 5-year-old mind when I got this in 1990. It was just awesome. My parents used to buy me a lot of those Tiger Electronic Handheld games, and I did love those as a kid, but anybody who's owned those knows that they're kind of crappy, and especially when you got it compared to a Game Boy where you could change the different games in it, it just blew your mind away. I just, so many favorite games on there, like the Super Mario Land, Super Mario Land 2, the Pokemon games, Army Men games. It was just awesome, the different games you could get on the original Game Boy. And this is what started my love for handheld gaming. Of course, I had the old, little monochrome green and black screen that you could adjust. It was very cool. Of course, you had to make sure you always had light available. I do have another one that I got for $5 at a thrift store. I don't know how many years ago now, but this one also does work. Then my brother and I eventually did upgrade when the Game Boy Color came out, and we got this purple Game Boy Color, which was both of ours, and it's still in my collection. It still works wonderful today. I haven't used it in a long time, but really cool having this atomic purple one. Of course, they've released a whole variety of different colors for them, and I have found a few different ones over the years of collecting. Like I've got this teal one, which is pretty cool, and it also works as well. Another one of these ones that I got at the thrift store, and it actually has Tom and Jerry for Game Boy Color, because I was testing different consoles at one point. I just forgot that game was still in there, so that's always interesting when you find something like that. But so I have that teal Game Boy Color, and then we had this really cool lime green Game Boy Color, which again is another thrift store find, really good condition, and it also works, so I really love that. So then of course after Game Boy Color came out, then they released the Game Boy Advance, and so my brother and I each got our own console for that, and that was the purple ones were released, which actually got 3 purple ones. So here's one of them. We did lose the back to it, which I do need to order a new back for it, because you can go on eBay and stuff and order replacement parts for it. So I do need to get a backing for this. But there's my brother's original purple one, and then here's mine, which actually I still have the cover on it. So have both of those. My brother gave me his, as he's really gotten out of game collecting, and he really only plays modern stuff and mostly does a lot of PC gaming. He also has a PlayStation 4 Pro, but he's looking to get a PS5, and once he does, he's just going to stick to PS5 gaming and PC gaming. So we got those. I also have found one here at the thrift store, one of these clear looking ones, and again it's one that's missing the battery cover, so I need to get one for that. But really cool because it does work. And then I have another one which I'm assuming is the same color as that one, but maybe the plastic is just kind of faded over time, or maybe it's a different kind of a clear one, but it does work. It's also missing the back, so I'll eventually have to get another back for this one, but I've got that. And then one of my favorite original Game Boy Advance consoles in my collection I actually bought from a game store that's actually still around here is I got a really good deal on this Pokemon Center Game Boy Advance. It was from the Pokemon Center in New York. You could buy it there. I don't remember what I paid for it at the time, but it was a really good deal. I'm sure this thing has gone up in value. It does work great. Occasionally there was some issue with some with the battery terminals, but I just had to clean some of the corrosion off it. But this is one of my favorite pieces because it's gold, it's Pokemon, and it's from the Pokemon Center that was in New York City. So really cool. Not sure how rare or uncommon this console is, you know, how much of a limited edition it is, but it does work great, and I'm really happy to have that in my collection. And so after we had the Game Boy Advance, then we had the Game Boy Advance SP, and we finally got a console that was backlit, and I have 4 different ones. Now my original one here, it's not that one, whoop. It's actually this one. Label's a little beat up on it, but what's really cool is because it was backlit. I don't know if it doesn't even have any battery powers. It does. So it was really cool that you had a backlight on the console, handheld console for the first time for Nintendo ones, which is really cool. So this is the original one that I got and loved it. And, you know, just really was awesome being able to take this portably and being able to see without having to buy a portable light, because I, you know, had to buy those worm lights and stuff that you would hook up to your Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and original Game Boy to actually be able to see if you were in the dark. You know, we always had to play in a lighted area to see. So when they had a backlit screen, you know, it was just so awesome and amazing. So I have that one. I eventually did find another red one at the one of the thrift stores that's missing the label, but overall it's in pretty good condition. And I also ran into this cool original Nintendo, so the NES themed Game Boy Advance SP. Only thing is it's missing is it's supposed to have, I think, another sticker of the NES like on here, they're looking like the controller, which I don't know if it was just a sticker that fell off or maybe this one just didn't have it on it, but it's another one I got from the thrift store for pretty cheap, and it's in pretty good condition. And then my favorite of the 4 Game Boy Advance SPs I own is this graphite one, because this is one of those AGS Model 101s, which actually has an even better backlit screen, which you can adjust it and make it brighter, which I don't know if it actually has any juice left in it. Ah, it does. But you might see how bright it is, and if you hit the thing, you can make it even brighter. You can see that? Like, you can make it even brighter than the original Game Boy Advance SP. So it's really cool. This is another one that I got for a good deal that I found at the thrift store, and I have in my collection, which I absolutely loved using that to play my Game Boy Advance games on, because it's really cool. And then, of course, after the Game Boy Advance, you know, we got the Nintendo DS, and this is my very first one here. I actually got from GameStop. I remember it was $129 at the time. Does work, still in really good condition. I don't have the strap on it because I actually moved it to the blue one that I have down there. Love the Nintendo DS because you can play DS games, but you can also play Game Boy Advance games. And I remember some of the Pokemon games, you could actually transfer from the DS to the Game Boy Advance or back and forth. You could actually trade Pokemon that way by plugging them in together. So that was something that was really cool, really innovative at the time. And we also have this really cool blue Nintendo DS. It's in really good condition. I found this at a thrift store for a pretty good price. I put the oh geez, why can't I think of the stupid name? The little cord. I don't know why. It's kind of late tonight. But the little strap I put on that one that says official Nintendo DS on it. Really cool. Works great. And I just really like the dark blue color. There's of course different colors you can get at the original DS. And then after the original Nintendo DS, then we also got the Nintendo DS Lite, which were smaller versions. And the only one which was my original one I had, which I don't have here, and that's one I know for sure was a blue one. But I've got this rose-colored one. It's in pretty good condition. Looks really nice, not really scratched up at all. That's one I found at the thrift store. Really happy with that. One of my favorite DS consoles here is this red and black Mario one. This is pretty cool looking. In really good condition as well. Another one I found at the thrift store. And then I also found at that same thrift store, because I found quite a few there, I found this really bright pink Nintendo DS Lite. Which, of course, I'm not a big fan of the color pink or anything, but I just got it for such a great deal, and couldn't pass it up and leave it behind for the price they had there. It also works, is in good condition, and I don't know anything as far as about rarity goes with the handheld consoles and the different versions of them. You know, it's not something I was really big into, so I don't know, you know, if one of these is rarer than the other or anything. And that just, you know, I have 4 Nintendo DS Lites. Then, you know, the Nintendo came out with the Nintendo 3DS, which I don't have a regular 3DS. I have a 3DS XL, and I have this cool red and black one that I did buy brand new. I don't remember how much they were at the time, maybe $200 or something, but has a huge screen on it. I do own a blue one that is actually my wife's Nintendo 3DS, which it's in our son's room, and he's sleeping right now, so I wasn't going to go in there and wake him up to get it out there, but you know, it looks the same as this. But I love the Nintendo 3DS, one of my favorite handhelds, and it's just great. Now, they did release a Nintendo 2DS, which is basically the 3DS without any 3D, and it just has the 2 screens, and it's like a big long brick looking thing. But I didn't have one of those. Like I said, I didn't have the original Nintendo 3DS, and I also don't have the new Nintendo 3DS that they made. They made a new one that had an extra button, like another circle pad or something like down here, which I did not ever buy one of those. I may here in the future, but, you know, just like with games, you know, handheld consoles have really gone up because of the pandemic, so I've got that. And then the final Nintendo one I have, which is actually, you know, is a hybrid, is my Nintendo Switch, which is awesome. I love playing this in portable. And of course, they did release a Nintendo Switch Lite, which is nothing but a portable. And so this is a hybrid, so this could go for as considered a console and a handheld console. So I put it in here as this is the latest Nintendo handheld, as I don't see them ever making another one. I think they're just going to stick to these kind of hybrid consoles, as it's, you know, big money maker for them. So I do have that. Now for my Sony ones, here's my original PSP 1000 model. And now there's also different variants and variations in that, like 1001, 1002, but I just know this was an original 1000 model, and I bought this from GameStop, and I remember it was $129.99 at the time. And I love the PSP. Has such a great library. I've been working on building it up, and I've put a lot of time in this console. There's actually one random little dead pixel in it, but overall it doesn't hinder the play. And this is the PSP I actually use, and I absolutely love it. I do have one more PSP, which is a 2000 model. You guys can see it's a lot thinner than the original one. They made it smaller. There's also a 3000 model, which I don't have. And the screen on this is a little bit better, but it just feels flimsier and lighter. And I just prefer the original PSP. And I do need to buy a new battery for this one, as it died. I mean, that's real common with the PSPs, especially with their age. I did buy a brand new battery for this, and that one works great now. And so this is my 2000 one that I got at the thrift store. Another one I got really cheap, good deal. Just couldn't pass it up and wanted to have a backup. And also, I do own some multiplayer games, so when I have people come over, you know, we can play. We each can play a 2-player game together with these 2 PSPs hooked up together, so that's awesome. You can also hook it up to your PlayStation 3, which is cool. And then one of the latest handhelds that I actually bought last year was a PlayStation Vita. I finally jumped on board. Absolutely love this handheld console. Really wish I would have jumped in it a long time ago. This is one of the original versions that has the better screen on it. Then they did release another updated PS Vita, but it had a crappier screen, and so this was the one to go with. They actually had a Japanese version of this at that game store, which I didn't even know that. I almost got that one, but it wasn't powering on, and I didn't want to risk it because the store was like 40 minutes away, and I mean, I could bring it back, but then I'd have to drive that way, and I knew this one worked for sure, so I picked this one up. And then going over like the model number and stuff reading in the back, I realized that that other one was actually a Japanese one, which could have been kind of cool to get the Japanese one, but, you know, I didn't want to buy 2 of them. I wanted to make sure one worked. I love the Vita. I'm slowly building up a library. It's just games are so expensive, and these handhelds for like the Vita and stuff, I like them to be complete. I don't like them to be loose, so I don't buy them loose if I can help it, and I try to buy them locally complete because they're a lot cheaper than going online. And the Vita is just awesome. So many wonderful games that I had missed out on, and it's a library I'm going to be working on building up. And then now, guys, we'll talk about some Sega ones. First up here, I have quite a few of these Game Gears. You can see I have 5 of them. Of course, one of the biggest issues with a Game Gear is the fact that it took 6 AA batteries, and I think you got like 6-7 hours, and then they would eat through all your batteries. It did have a backlit screen, so it was a lot superior to the Game Boy, but it just never caught on because it just didn't have as many amazing games as the Game Boy did. It was still a really fun console, and actually this one down here is my original one that I had as a kid, and the little back there, which fell down there, actually broke off it, but it does work. And this one does work as well because I found this at a thrift store. These other 3 came from thrift stores as well over the years. But they have varying issues where I need to get the capacitors in them replaced because the screens get messed up and stuff like that. And so eventually I'd like to have all 5 of these Game Gears in my collection to be refurbished. I just got to find somebody that does it, and I can pay them to do that and get them make the look new and everything. I do apologize for my camera not focusing here. It's irritating. And the last one I'll share with you guys is one that's not too impressive. It's just this Sega Genesis, the ultimate portable game player. There's been a lot of these like kind of Genesis clone things, but they were officially licensed by Sega, and I got this from my work as we were selling the one Christmas, and it just didn't sell, and we marked it down like 90% off, and I don't think I got it for like maybe $5 or something after my discount and stuff. It does have built-in Genesis games and some random like third-party games put on it, but it's really cool is you can put an SD card with the Genesis ROMs, and you can play that basically a portable Genesis with 6 buttons. Of course, the D-pad's kind of crappy on it, and the buttons are. I mean, overall, it's a pretty terrible system, but it's just one that was pretty interesting to have here in my handheld collection. Now, I do own quite a few different of those Tiger Electronic Handheld games, but those are all in storage. I couldn't even tell you where the hell they are right now, but have those. I was going to show you guys some of the cases I have. So here's a DS 3DS for the Nintendo DS Lite, which that pink one actually goes in here, and actually came with it when I bought it. You can see it fits in there, and it protects your console. So I do have bags for most of my handhelds, not all of them. I have for a few. I have this icon here, blue one for the blue Nintendo DS Lite that I have, which is in storage, so I just put one of the other ones in it. So I got that blue one. I've got for my original DS, I bought this Mario and Yoshi DS case when I got that silver one at GameStop. This switch and carry case, you know, because I wanted to have a case to protect it, so I bought that. Let's see, we got... Oh, this is a fairly new one for the Nintendo DS. I got the Super Mario one with the overalls. It's pretty cool. I actually just got this. It was either earlier this year or last year. So this is another one for the Nintendo DS Lite console. So I got that. For my Game Boy Advance SPs, I have this. It's supposed to be red, but you can see it got sun faded, and you really can tell with opening it. This is one that I got at the thrift store, and I believe that it actually came with that one red SP that I bought. So I have a case for that. I have another case for one of my Game Boy Advance SPs. For my PSP, I have this case here, which actually has a couple of games in it. There's my extra SD or micro SD card in there. Not micro SD. What is that one called? Sony memory stick, that's right, it was a memory stick memory card is in there. So I have a case for that PSP. I have a case I bought for my PS Vita. One, I bought my Vita. I saw this cool case there, and I picked it up. And it protects my PS Vita, so I've got that. And then the last case I showed you guys is for my Nintendo 3DS. I got this cool red Mario bag the same day I bought my console there. And I wanted to make sure it was protected, and it says Super Mario on there. It came with some little accessories and cleaning stuff. And I did get a blue one for my wife, the from that same store. So she has a blue one, and it has a different Mario characters and stuff on it. I also have a couple accessories with me. I have a lot more than this. This is just what I have. I figured I'd share with you guys. So first up is I do have a power pack for the Game Gear. It actually came with one of the Game Gears that I bought, but it doesn't work. And I tried powering on it. It's just like the cells in it have died. But I have heard that there are people who can take this apart and fix it and make it work again. So that's something I'll have to eventually get refurbished. I do have a Game Boy Power AC adapter in the box. Very cool. This was a thrift store find. Really good deal. Awesome to have something like this boxed. Really cool. Some other accessories here. I have a Poke Walker, which I need to replace the battery in it, but it did work when I had bought it. Got it at the thrift store, so that's pretty cool. Don't even remember really what you did with this thing. I think you put a Pokemon in it maybe or something. I don't remember. So I've got that. For Game Boy Advance, I have some wireless adapters here, which I actually own more of these. You would plug this into your Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance SP, and then you could play games together wirelessly without the cords and controllers like you had to do with link cables and stuff. So that was pretty cool. I own two different Game Boy cameras. I have a yellow one and a blue one, which they both do work, which is really cool. And with that, I actually found a Game Boy printer, which some paper's actually still in there. It does work. I tested this out, hooked everything up, took a picture with it, and it actually printed out. So you could actually take pictures with your Game Boy Color, and print out little photos on this printer thing. And I got this for a really good deal. It's in really good condition, so the person who originally owned it took care of it. It takes a lot of batteries, but just something that's pretty neat. I also have an e-reader, which there were some Game Boy Advance games that were compatible with this, like Pokemon and stuff, and Mario Party, and you would slide cards, and you could unlock stuff in the game, or new levels and stuff. Like, I remember Super Mario Brothers 3 for the Game Boy Advance actually had some reader card levels, which you would slide that, and then you could actually play those levels. So I've got a couple of these. This is just the one I have with me. And then another one I have is this really interesting thing called the Handy Boy, which adds speakers to your Game Boy, and then it also has a screen that pops out and everything. And you know, you could really pimp out your console. And there was a lot of third-party accessories released for these handhelds. And then of course, you know, I've got these different kind of link cables and other link cables and power cords and cords that let you hook it up to a GameCube and use a Game Boy Advance as a controller, or actually to play games on it. It's pretty cool. So I have a bunch of accessories, cords and stuff. I do have some other collectibles, and I did want to show you guys. I do have a boxed original Game Boy, which it might be kind of hard to see, so I have to just turn this light. But over here, my buddy Alex, oh god, probably like 7 years ago now, gave this to me. This was his original Game Boy, and it's actually in there. The screen part of it fell off. Like, there's a part that goes off. This black piece actually fell off, so I have to glue it back on there, but it does work and pretty good. And this was an original Walmart arcade set with an exclusive bonus, and has these coupons, which are actually still in there. And it's supposed to have a Killer Instinct, but that's not in there. But I can always buy that for it. But I do have one box, and that is one of my favorite box Game Boy pieces in my collection. But I just wanted to share with you guys that. So very cool. Right there. Apologize here, guys. It was a little dark. I gotta turn that light here. You know, it's really late. But that will give you guys a little idea of the different handheld consoles I've owned. Because, you know, I've loved handheld consoles ever since I was a kid. And I got that original Game Boy, which is here. And this is what just created my love for handheld games. Because, you know, I like playing those Tiger Electronic Handheld games as a kid. I still own quite a few of them. They're just in storage. But they were not anything like Game Boy. I mean, when you got Game Boy, like, this just blew your mind away. Like, how much more you could play on the game, because, you know, the little handheld things, obviously, you know, the way they are. You know, they were real simplistic, and there wasn't anything to them. So it was cool playing games like Super Mario Land, Super Mario Land 2, the Turtles games, Pokemon especially. Just was awesome playing it, and I loved the old Game Boy. And this is what grew my love to handheld gaming, and is why my collection has really grown to what it is today. And you know, I've got my Switch and PlayStation, and got Sega stuff, Nintendo, and just overall I'm a big fan of the handheld collection. So that gives you guys a little overlook of it. Like I said, there's a couple handhelds here that I didn't share with you guys because I know they're in storage. There's also some random Star Wars handheld console that I found years ago, which I do own it. I just don't know what the hell happened to it. It's in storage somewhere, so that's another one I would like to show you. But this gives you guys a bulk idea of my handheld collection. It's something I really love. I'd like to know from you guys, do you guys like handheld gaming? Do you guys have your own handheld collection video up? If you do, I'd love to see it. Maybe you guys might have some of those really rare and hard to get variants of different handheld consoles out there. Like, I do know they have blue Game Gears. I've always wanted to get a blue Game Gear. I thought that'd be kind of cool. And people do custom ones and stuff, and there's special Pokemon ones, and all kinds of Mario themed ones, and there's all kinds of different ones out there. Well, I'd love to see if you guys do have your own collection video sharing your handheld consoles. Let me know, as I will be interested in checking out. And I'd like to know if you guys like handheld gaming. I love it. I know some people don't like the little tiny screens, or it's hard on their eyes or not, but for me, I've always loved handheld gaming. It's something you can take with you on the go. You know, you're on a bus, you're on a plane ride, you're in the car, you know, maybe you're laying in bed or stuff, you know, and you can just take, you know, just have a nice little portable with you. You can sit there and do some portable gaming and just sit back and relax. So it's something I've always loved and enjoyed as a kid, and I just love having them. It's not something I've been actively going after collecting, you know, but, you know, I found a lot of these for dirt cheap at thrift stores years ago when no one cared about. Now some of these are not cheap locally. If you can find them, they don't last long, or some of these are like 100, 200 bucks nowadays. So just something cool. So hope you guys enjoyed this collection video. I do have some other collection videos planned here in the future. And again, I want to thank Nick T. Wolf Discusses, that's the name of his channel, for requesting this collection video. I'm sorry, bro, that it's taken me so long, maybe 2 or 3 years, to finally get this video filmed for you. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. I want you guys to take care, have a wonderful day, and Sleepy will definitely see you guys next time.